Hi, I'm Robert from Off-Grid Trailers. We're going to set up a couple of videos here for you to introduce you to your off-grid trailer, whether it's a Pando or Expedition. We are looking at a Pando today, but a lot of the description of what to do and how to do it is going to be similar between both units. We will start today with showing you guys the front end of the trailer as far as hooking it up properly to your vehicle and some of the options you may have. If your trailer comes with a standard coupler, it is just a normal coupler function. Put it on the hitch and then lock the coupler in place. If you have a max coupler option like we have here, in order to lock or unlock it from the vehicle, just want to pull the safety pin, pull out the hitch pin, and then your coupler will disconnect or reconnect. To maintenance for the max coupler is two Zerk fittings for grease, both on the yoke that will be attached to your vehicle and on the bottom of the max coupler. When you receive your trailer, the coupler will be inside the cabin of your trailer. You just need to install it onto an appropriate ball mount for the proper rise or lift or drop on your vehicle. You have your safety chains, which when you connect to your vehicle, you want to make sure you cross them underneath the trailer tongue and attach them to your vehicle. And you have your breakaway brake cable, which is your emergency brake, just in case the trailer does separate from the tow vehicle. And your 7-pin plug, which will control the lights and brakes for your trailer. And then finally, you will have a tongue jack, which you can raise or lower the trailer from your vehicle. This jack that we've included with your trailer is a 2-stage jack. So the one stage you control by winding with the handle to make the jack move up and down. And the second stage, you can quickly drop the ball or foot mount on your jack by pulling out the safety pin and then pushing down on the ball mount or the flat foot or the wheel mount, and that will quickly allow you to extend the jack foot so you don't have to wind it up and down as much. While we're at the front here, we will also mention that if you do have the spare tire option, your tire is just attached to the front of the trailer. To take it on and off, you just have to undo the 6 bolts to take your tire off. Last thing on the front of the box is your shore power connector. So this is connects the battery charger to your 12-volt batteries to maintain them, and then your solar power connector. A quick note about the solar panels: both the solar panel options we provide, you just connect to your trailer. The controller for the charger and the panels is included with the panels themselves. So we're going to look at the front box and what's inside the front box. Like with all the handles, these rail-tail handles on your trailer, the way you operate them is you just pull it up and then rotate to unlatch it and then open it. Inside the front box, you have your two 12-volt deep cycle batteries, inverter, fuse boxes in the back. Right below the fuse box is your battery charger. Underneath the battery charger is the emergency brake controller module, which includes a backup battery for the electric brakes, and your main bus. So this not only protects the trailer as a main circuit breaker, but also allows you to completely disconnect the electrical system for the trailer during storage and such. To operate the inverter, you can either operate it from the electrical box here by just turning it on and off, or you can use your remote control button inside the trailer itself. When you connect your trailer to the shore power, it is charging the batteries through the charger. There is no hard connection between the shore power to your 12-volt or 120-volt plug inside the trailer. If by any chance you want to connect the 120-volt plug directly to shore power, you can just unplug the plug here and plug it into an extension cord. Quick note about the charging as well. The charger is fully automatic. It will charge your batteries, maintain them automatically, so you don't have to worry about doing any switchings or settings. On top of that is we do recommend you actually leave your trailer plugged in. It will maintain the batteries to make sure that they don't get damaged from discharging. On the other side of the front box, is where your Dometic fridge lives. Now this is the standard location for the Expedition model and is the option for the Pando model, but both of them are essentially work the same way. You unlock the slide by pushing down on the handle, slide up the fridge, which gives you access to your Dometic dual zone fridge. You can change the size of the interior compartment depending on what temperature we want by taking out the divider, and the operational unit is through the front control panel, on-off switch and temperature setting. When you pull up the handle, it locks the fridge in place, whether it's slid in or slid out, and then if you want to slide the fridge back in, again push down on the handle and the fridge will slide back in. So this is the water system on your trailer. The system works identical on both the Pando and Expedition. Again, well-tail latch will allow you to access the shower box. In the shower box, you have your on-demand water heater, which will supply hot water to your unit if you wish to use it. 2 switches to operate the water system. One is your pump switch. This will allow you to pressurize this water system in your trailer, and you can actually turn the pump on and just use the trailer with cold water. If you want to have additional hot water as well, just go ahead and flick the switch in the bottom unit, and then you can actually use the hot water system. The way it's activated is when you turn on a tap or you turn on a shower, it will sense that the water is going through the system and will automatically heat it for you. Use the 2 control knobs on the front at that point to change the temperature of the water and how much flow you have. To use the shower itself, you just use the on-off switch to turn on the shower. If you want to use the sink hot water, again, just turn it on, set it to a temperature that's comfortable, and then you can actually mix the temperature at the sink faucet as well. The unit itself is powered by 2 D-cell batteries, which are in this compartment, and that's what controls the electronics inside the unit as far as sensing if the water is required and igniting the propane system. While we're still here, quick mention that this is your location of your propane. It provides gas for the water heater, the furnace on top of your unit, and the stove in the kitchen. So now we're going to go look at the Pando Galley. When you open the door, you'll notice that it's held up by gas struts. The one gas strut does have a safety feature on it, so it locks the gas strut in the lock position. To open your galley or close your galley door, just depress the safety feature and close your door. When we are going to be looking at the Pando Galley, the operation of the stove and the sink, which we'll show you, is identical on the Pando and the Expedition, with the Expedition kitchen being folded out from the one side of the trailer. The Pando does have a USB port in the kitchen as well for your use. Lights for the galley, and this is where your optional stereo is going to be installed if you have one. In the Expedition, this stereo will be installed in the kitchen that folds out from the side of the trailer. To operate your stove, access it in this drawer, and then to turn the burner on, turn the knob to light, push down the knob, turn the igniter to turn on the burner. Once the burner is lit, you can let go of the button and then adjust the temperature to your desired setting for the stove. To turn it off, just turn the knob to off. Your sink in the Pando or the Expedition, open it up, fold out the faucet, and then you can use the control knob up or down to change the temperature, and then pull it out to adjust the water pressure. You have multiple storage compartments in the Pando for food, dishes. You also have your spice rack for storing spices or anything that will fit in here to allow you to slide the drawer out. The other appliance in your Pando is your fridge. Just like the optional unit for the front box or the standard unit for the Expedition, there is a compartment that you can remove from the fridge to make the fridge compartment bigger or smaller. For this fridge, the controls are inside the fridge on the side here. Again, to turn the power on, just press and hold the power button and then use the buttons to set your desired temperature for the fridge. The water tanks for the Pando are accessible from the kitchen door. Your Pando will come with this tank as a standard, and we call that the primary tank at 14 gallons. To fill it, you just fill it through the cap on the top here. If you have the optional secondary tank, the fill for the secondary tank is just beside. Cap just comes off and you fill it. That tank is 19 gallons. In order to select between the primary and optional tank, you will have a switch that's installed here that will allow you to select between those. And a switch or the valve above is to allow you to bypass the system to introduce antifreeze into the system to prepare it for winter storage. The drains for the water tanks are just below the bumper. So the secondary tank drain is visible just below the bumper. The primary drain is just behind the taillight, behind the bumper, and your tube for your gray water is just behind the bumper as well. So you want to drain that onto the ground or catch it into a bucket. A quick note about the water system. Again, you want to winterize the water system if you expect freezing temperatures, as the trailer water system is not protected against the cold. So now we're going to look at your interior of your trailer. And again, the layout is identical between the Pando and Expedition. The only exception is that the Pando upper storage cabinets are a little bit shallower to accommodate the Pando Galley. But the controls and the layout are identical between the two units. Again, the light switch for the interior lights is just on the control panel here. Right above the light switch is your control for your remote control for your inverter to turn on the 120 volt plug inside the unit. Beside that, if you have it, is the control for the optional Proplex heater. To activate the heater fan, you can just turn that onto the fan button and that will recirculate the air. If you turn a control knob one more spot to the little flame, that will activate the heat function for the heater, and then use the thermostat control to set the desired temperature inside the unit. Below that is your two USB plugs, one of which has the voltage indicator for your trailer, so you can monitor your battery voltage. We do have an optional device holder that you can purchase for your trailer as well. This device holder just allows your either iPads or phones or just to sit in the holder, and it does have space underneath to be able to connect your phone or iPad or device while it's charging. If you have an optional TV, it will be mounted just above the control panel, and again, in order to use the TV, you do have to have the inverter on. On the top of your unit is where your ventilation fan is installed. Depending on the model you have, it's either going to be manually controlled, where you use this knob to open and close the vent lid, and then the controls are on this side to turn on the fan and change the direction and speed of the fan. If you have the optional Deluxe Max fan installed, you will actually have a remote control and some additional settings for you being able to open the lid automatically and activate it at set temperatures. And then finally, above each door, you have a switch for the exterior porch light. So we're just doing a quick introduction to the tents and awnings on these trailers if you have the option. Currently, we are selling the trailers with Darchi awnings, so we recommend you search for Darchi awnings videos on setting up their awnings. They've done a pretty good job, and we don't want to replicate those. But just a quick note about them is you will just unzip the bag that contains the awning, just unfold all the arms, secure them with the straps onto the tent so that they're held in an open position, And then you do have some guy wires that you can connect to stabilize the awning, as well as support poles for the awning. The tents itself, if you have purchased a tent from us, we will actually supply you with a fairly good leaflet from 2.0 on setting up their tent models and proper use of those tent models.